Y'all, take a listen as this flight attendant who had just literally got off of the American airline plane that was hit by the Apache helicopter. Press play.
Been unable to sleep since I've been notified that the plane that I just got off of crashed.
And you worked that plane. I mean,
And I
not
worked
just
on
a
it
flight. People need to understand you worked in several cities, several flights all day long.
all day long.
And it was your time. That schedule ended. You got off and you talked to the crew.
And on one flight that they worked it on, it crashed. One flight that they took it back to, it crashed. And I worked that plane from Philly to Toronto, Toronto to DC, DC to Wichita.
And you talked to the crew. Your friends.
Yes. Yep.
What was the last things you guys said to each other?
We talked about the overnight. Ian told me not to go eat at Oasis because he said don't go eat at that bar. It's horrible. He said I would like the overnight. I would like the hotel because I like to work out because he knew me. We didn't have that much time to continue talking. So he told us have a good overnight and we told him have a safe flight.
Some of your belongings are still on that plane.
Yeah. My water bottle, I left it. It's still on the plane. And this at PSA, there are two flight attendants that work together. So we're a lot closer than you see four flight attendants working together because it's just us working hand in hand. It's one in the front and it's one in the back, over 60 something people.
So you get to know each other really, really well.
Very well, exactly. That's all I've been thinking was that could have been me. That's all I've been thinking.
You got you some. I mean, obviously, but you needed her. You said you were going to get her in Wichita or wherever it took.
Whatever it took. If I had to drive last night, I would have drove to no matter where. I would have still been on the road going to DC. I would be there now. Wherever she's at, I'm coming to get her. That's my daughter. It's a thought that keeps running. It's a thought that just keeps running through my mind that she could have been one of them. That she could have been one of them just by a hair, just by a moment. So it's very, very breaking. But I'm so glad that I have her here just one more time.
Wow. Wow. Just another example. Another example that we just don't know. We just don't know how truly far away from death we are until it is presented before us. Wow. Man, that is like grace. That is grace and mercy and favor on full display. And it ain't nothing that we can earn. It's just by his will. His will. And what I hate, that it takes tragic incidents like this one to always wake us up. Because what we'll do is we'll fall back into that same trap. I've been guilty of it. We forget. We forget. That's why you literally have to pray every day before you walk out that door. Because you just don't never know what you're going to be faced with. And you don't even think about, which you should, all of the grace and mercy that God has covered you with. That stuff that should have took you out, but he took you this way. Should have took you out, but it took you that way. Just the sad, sad situations, man. Sad, sad situations. And I guess you would have to have some sort of, I would imagine, survivor's remorse. Especially when it's people that you are close with. Like, you work with somebody like so many, hours out of the day. They become like family members. And so I could imagine, just like she pointed out. And, man, as a parent, can't even imagine. I would have drove to Timbuktu to get my child too, but just to be literally at the doorstep of death. This is why you got to make sure that you right with Jesus Christ. So in the event that something like this happens, your body will be destroyed, but your soul will be secure. I know people don't want to look at it that way, but man, this is the reality of life. We are born to die. You may not die a tragic death like this one, but you got to go somehow. That's all a part of the plan. You got to shed this body to get the eternal body. Just part of it. So, prayers to all those who lost their lives and family members affected and friends affected. Man, it's heartbreaking. It is very heartbreaking. So just continue to lift them all up in prayer. And just remember, man, life is precious. And it's time we start living like it. Anyway, to God the glory. Carry on.